listeners, and welcome back to Why Walking Matters, the Science Explained. I'm Tatiana, your host. How have you been doing? Have you been meeting your walking goals, your nutrition goals? Or maybe the weather's been a deterrent to your walking routine. Listeners, as we learn together about the science and benefits of this simple and accessible activity, I also hope that you're getting out there and walking with purpose consistently, or at least as much as you can. Because as we've been learning, that's what matters most. And if you're new to the podcast, I encourage you to explore last month's Nutrition for Walking series. And if you're a listener who suffers from joint pain, because I know that can be a deterrent to wanting to walk, check out episodes 3, 4, and 22, Walking for Knee Pain, the Best Walking Surfaces for Joints, and Walking for Joint Health. These episodes may give some insight into how walking may help. Mostly, listeners, I'd just like you to get out there and walk. And if getting out has been a challenge, taking a small step may help you get there. Yesterday, I walked indoors to a walking video I found on YouTube, which is actually something I've done for years when I need to get going again after a slump or if I'm short on time. Lately, I've also found walking groups on Facebook inspiring, and I've noticed new groups popping up more and more. So finding a group to match your vibe should be possible. All in all, I've noticed that walking seems to be a popular activity lately, which is a good thing. This month, we've been reviewing research and reading articles focused on the benefits of walking and heart health. In the first episode, we talked about walking and heart health generally. Next, we looked at how much walking is enough to support heart health and can walking really help you live longer. And last week, we talked about blood pressure, what it is, why it matters, and how walking helps to lower it. This week, we're going one layer deeper because heart health isn't just about pressure. It's also about what's flowing through your arteries. Today, we're talking about cholesterol, artery health, plaque buildup, and how walking helps to protect your heart from the inside out. And next week, our rescheduled guest will be joining us to wrap up this heart health series. But first, let's build the foundation. From heart.org, what is cholesterol? Cholesterol is a waxy substance throughout the body. It's not bad unless you have too much of it. Your body needs it to build cells and make vitamins and other hormones, but too much cholesterol can pose a problem. Cholesterol comes from two sources. Your liver makes all the cholesterol you need. The rest of the cholesterol in your body comes from foods from animals. For example, meat, poultry, and dairy products all contain dietary cholesterol. Those same foods can also be high in saturated and trans fats. These fats can increase the cholesterol in your body. For some people, this added cholesterol means they go from a normal cholesterol level to one that's unhealthy. Some tropical oils, such as palm oil, palm kernel oil, and coconut oil, contain saturated fat that can increase bad cholesterol. These oils are often found in baked goods. Why does cholesterol matter? Cholesterol circulates in the blood. As the amount of cholesterol in your blood increases, so does the risk to your health. High cholesterol contributes to a higher risk of cardiovascular diseases, such as heart disease and stroke. It's important to have your cholesterol tested so you can know your levels. The two types of cholesterol are LDL cholesterol, which is bad, and HDL, which is good. Too much of the bad kind or not enough of the good kind increases the risk that cholesterol will slowly build up in the inner walls of the arteries, such as those that feed the heart and brain. LDL, or low density lipoprotein cholesterol, is known as the bad kind of cholesterol. High levels of LDL cholesterol can lead to heart disease and stroke. The AHA recommends lower is better for LDL. Studies suggest an ideal LDL level at or below 100 milligrams per deciliter. Adults who maintain this level have lower rates of heart disease and stroke. High density lipoprotein, HDL, is the good kind of cholesterol. High levels of HDL cholesterol can reduce your risk of heart disease and stroke. Cholesterol can join with other substances to form a thick, hard deposit on the inside of the arteries. This narrows the arteries and makes them less flexible, a condition known as atherosclerosis. This can lead to a blood clot forming, which can block one of these narrowed arteries, causing a heart attack or stroke. So, to summarize, listeners, cholesterol isn't bad. It's a substance your body needs to build cells and hormones. The issue is how it travels in your blood. LDL can contribute to plaque buildup in arteries, and HDL helps to remove cholesterol from the bloodstream. When LDL levels are too high over time, plaque can build up in artery walls. That narrows arteries and makes it harder for blood to flow. So, why is artery health important to the heart? Your heart is a pump. Your arteries are the pipes. If plaque narrows those pipes, your heart has to work harder, oxygen delivery decreases, and your risk of heart attack increases. According to the CDC, high cholesterol significantly increases the risk of heart disease. So, where does walking come in? Research consistently shows that regular aerobic activity, including walking, can lower LDL cholesterol, raise HDL cholesterol, and improve triglyceride levels. Triglycerides are a type of fat in the body. A high level of triglycerides can contribute to problematic cholesterol buildup in your body, according to the American Heart Association. From mayoclinic.org, triglycerides, why do they matter? Triglycerides are a type of fat, also known as a lipid, found in your blood. When you eat, your body converts any calories it doesn't need to use right away into triglycerides. The triglycerides are stored in your fat cells. Later, hormones release triglycerides for energy between meals. If you regularly eat more calories than you burn, particularly from high carbohydrate foods, you may have high triglycerides. A simple blood test can reveal whether your triglycerides fall into a healthy range. A healthcare professional typically checks for high triglycerides as part of a cholesterol test, which is sometimes called a lipid panel or lipid profile. You have to fast before blood can be drawn for an accurate triglyceride measurement. Triglycerides and cholesterol are different types of lipids that circulate in your blood. Triglycerides store unused calories and provide your body with energy. Cholesterol is used to build cells and certain hormones. Healthy lifestyle choices are key to lowering triglycerides. Exercise regularly for at least 30 minutes of physical activity on most or all days of the week. Avoid sugar and refined carbohydrates. Lose weight. Choose healthier fats. Trade saturated fat found in meats for healthier fat found in plants, such as avocado, nuts, and olive and canola oils. Instead of red meat, try fish high in omega 3 fatty acids, such as mackerel or salmon. Avoid trans fats or foods with hydrogenated oils or fats. Limit how much alcohol you drink. Alcohol is high in calories and sugar and has a particularly potent effect on triglycerides. If healthy lifestyle changes aren't enough to control high triglycerides, your healthcare professional may recommend medicine. A review published in the journal Arteriosclerosis, Thrombosis, and Vascular Biology found that regular physical activity improves lipid metabolism and reduces cardiovascular risk. At this point, listeners, I think it would be worthwhile to take the time to look a little deeper at fats. This article is from heart.org, The Skinny on Fats. Saturated fat. Saturated fats are fat molecules that are saturated with hydrogen molecules. They are typically solids at room temperature. Saturated fats occur naturally in many foods, primarily meat and dairy products. Beef, lamb, some cuts of pork, and poultry with the skin on contain saturated fats, as do butter, cream, and cheese made from whole or 2% milk. Plant-based foods that contain saturated fats include coconut, coconut oil, and cocoa butter, as well as palm oil and palm kernel oil, often called tropical oils. For people who need to lower their cholesterol, the American Heart Association recommends reducing saturated fat to less than 6% of total daily calories. Trans fat. Trans fats, or trans fatty acids, are created in a process that adds hydrogen to liquid vegetable oils to make them more solid. Another name for trans fats is partially hydrogenated oils. Trans fats raise your bad LDL cholesterol levels and lower your good HDL cholesterol levels. These changes are associated with a higher risk of heart disease and stroke. Trans fats are found in many fried foods. Baked goods such as pastries, pizza dough, pie crust, cookies, and crackers also can contain trans fats. Since 2006, the FDA has required trans fat content to be listed on the Nutrition Facts panel of packaged foods. In recent years, Many major national fast food chains and casual dining restaurant chains have announced they will no longer use trans fats to fry or deep fry foods. The American Heart Association recommends that adults who would benefit from lowering LDL cholesterol eliminate trans fat from their diet. To find the amount of trans fats in a particular packaged food, look at the Nutrition Facts panel. Companies must list any measurable amount of trans fat in a separate line in the total fat section of the panel, directly beneath the line for saturated fat. This means if a food package states 0 grams of trans fats, it might still have some trans fats if the amount per serving is less than 0.5 grams. Make sure to check the ingredients list for partially hydrogenated oil, unsaturated fat. The two kinds of unsaturated fats are monounsaturated and polyunsaturated. Both of these unsaturated fats are typically liquid at room temperature. Eaten in moderation, both kinds of unsaturated fats may help improve your blood cholesterol when used in place of saturated and trans fats. Unsaturated fats are in fish such as salmon, trout, and herring, and plant-based foods such as avocados, olives, and walnuts. Liquid vegetable oils such as soybean, corn, safflower, canola, olive, and sunflower also contain unsaturated fats. Here are some ways to lower your intake of saturated and trans fats. Maintain a diet that emphasizes fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fat-free or low-fat dairy products, poultry, fish, and nuts. Also limit red and processed meats and sugar-sweetened foods and beverages. Choose naturally occurring unhydrogenated vegetable oils such as canola, safflower, sunflower, or olive oil. Look for processed foods made with unhydrogenated oil rather than saturated fat or hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated vegetable oils. Limit commercially fried foods and baked goods made with shortening or partially hydrogenated vegetable oils. Limit fried fast food and limit donuts, cookies, crackers, muffins, pies, and cakes. Consider using a food diary to keep track of what you eat. It's a handy way to evaluate the healthy, not so healthy, and unhealthy foods you're making a part of your diet. This article was last reviewed February 20th, 2024. And there are additional links to learn more about dietary fats and cooking to lower cholesterol. So, listeners, how does walking help? According to the American Heart Association, a sedentary lifestyle lowers HDL or good cholesterol. Less HDL means there's less good cholesterol to remove the bad cholesterol from your arteries. Physical activity is important. At least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic exercise a week is enough to lower both cholesterol and high blood pressure. And you have lots of options, brisk walking being one of them.
Swapping 30 minutes of sitting with walking could reduce your stress and maybe even save your life. The American Heart Association wants to remind people to start moving. It could be as simple as choosing to take the stairs instead of the elevator, or parking further away. It's never too late to start thinking healthier and how important staying active is for both your mental health and physical health. Walking helps to reduce stress. It keeps your heart healthy, lowers your risk of type 2 diabetes, and helps keep your weight under control. So let's get out there and move more to reduce stress every day.
Listeners, I'd like to wrap up today the way we started by remembering that when it comes to walking for your heart, consistency, not perfection, is the real key. You don't need perfect routines or long cardio sessions. Start small, build gradually, make it enjoyable, but keep it consistent. Walking consistently not only helps your heart today, it's linked to longer, healthier lives. Even anecdotal community findings report strong relationships between regular walking and improved health markers over time, including lower blood pressure, better weight control, and improved energy. So start building your habit not just for today, but for years of health and quality of life. Next week, we will finally be joined by our first guest on the podcast to wrap up the Heart Health series with expert insights you're going to love. Until then, share the podcast with a friend. Visit whywalkingmatters.com to share your walking story. And most importantly, keep stepping. Remember, every step matters.